All right, guys, what is a survey and why do you need one? Stay tuned to find out. Hey everyone, Andrew here with the Lake Team in Houston, Texas. Welcome back to another video that we have for you today. If you are watching this on YouTube and you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. We do our best each and every week to put out the best real estate content to you guys. That being said, let's go ahead and move forward into today's topic, which is what is a survey and why do you need one? All right, so what is a survey? So in layman's terms, a survey is basically a piece of paper that shows a map of your lot with your house on it and anything else that's on the property, such as a pool, a shed, or anything like that. But in layman's terms, that's what a survey actually is, but we'll go into more detail here in just a second. But you are required to have a survey from your lender, and it's best to get one anyways, but you are required to have a survey before you even close on the house, because the survey does have to go through certain underwriting departments for approval. Okay, so your survey shows all your easements, the perimeters of the home, any structures that are on the property, any pipelines, utility easements, all that good stuff, your fence lines, any kind of encroachments that are on your property. Let's say, for example, your neighbor decided to build a shed and some of that portion of that shed is on your property, could be considered as an encroachment. So you need to know that as a home buyer if there are any of these issues that may pop up before you close. So that's why it's important to get a survey, because there might be any ongoing disputes with neighbor to neighbor. But a survey is really good to know or really good to have, because it does show where your property line is. And you're going to need it, especially if you want to build a pool or anything like that. All right, so one thing I do want to touch on really quick is when it comes to the build lines or utility easements or anything of that nature. We just had a property that we closed on not too long ago here, and it was in Pearland, and this property had a pool built over an easement. There was an existing utility easement there, but it was no longer in use. And luckily, whenever we found this out, there was paperwork that was involved that was filed to the utility company that gave permission to have that pool there, because that utility is no longer in use, essentially. So, but the survey did show that prior to making an offer, which is good because they already had one. But if they didn't have that survey, and we had, as a buyer's agent, for example, we go under contract and then we have to get a survey, and if something like that were to pop up and they didn't have paperwork showing that they had permission from the utility companies to install a pool over their easements, then we were in pretty big trouble. Utility companies can come in there and rip up your whole pool, and it'd just be a disaster for everybody. That's why it's pretty important to get that survey done, because it'll show you things of that nature. All right, another cool thing about your survey is going to show the legal description. It's not well known, but your address is actually not your legal description of your property. There is a whole bunch of letters and numbers and subdivision information that goes in there that actually shows your legal description. So if you ever had to file anything one day that does request your legal description of your home, you can typically find it in your survey, if not on the appraisal district's website. Also, a survey will show that if you are in a flood zone. As a buyer, it's pretty important to understand that if you're going to be in a flood zone or not. Now, you and your agent should know this information prior to submitting an offer, but if you didn't, and y'all didn't do the research, or your agent didn't do the research, which was terrible, but if your agent didn't do research and you didn't do research and y'all made an offer on a property that you didn't know was in a flood zone, that survey comes back and shows that it's in a flood zone. Well, now you know property's in a flood zone at this point. There's really nothing you can do about it. So the survey is also required by your lender for the loan approval. Again, the lender's just trying to mitigate any kind of risk necessary. Let's go back to that property in Pearland that we sold that had a pool on top of a utility easement. That kind of stuff is what the lenders need to know. That's why you're going to be required to have the survey in the first place to go ahead and move forward with the loan approval and the loan process. You're also going to need your survey for the title company to insure the property. We'll get into another video of what a title policy actually means or what it is, but in this case, let's just say something happens with the property, some kind of liens or judgments against the property that wasn't found during the title search, then the title policy would cover that stuff for you. So you're going to need that survey for the title policy or the title company to move forward and insure the property. So big question, who pays for the survey? Now, it just depends on what you put on the contract, right? Is the seller going to pay for it? Are you going to pay for it? It really all depends. Let's say, for example, you are paying for the survey. It really all depends if the house is sitting on acreage or if the house is just sitting in a regular size subdivision lot. But we see them anywhere from $400 to $700. Just go ahead and plan on maybe $500 for a survey. It's going to be required, so just go ahead and plan on it anyways. So new or existing survey, does it matter? It just depends. So if the sellers have an existing survey and nothing has been done to the property since that survey was done, let's say they did the survey 20 years ago and the title company will accept it as long as there was no changes, right? Well, if they put a pool in there after the survey was done, the title company's not going to accept it, and neither is your lender, nor should you. So at that point, you're going to be required to have a new survey done. Again, if there's an existing survey and nothing has been changed to the structure of the house, or nothing's been added in the backyard, then you can use the existing survey that is out there, which does save you a little bit of money. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Survey is kind of a boring topic, but it's something that we should all know and understand what we're getting involved in. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on our website. You can find all of our information there directly. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll leave our info in the description of the video below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below as well, so you'll be the first notified of any videos that we release in the future. We do our best to produce the best real estate content to you guys each and every week. All right, so that's going to pretty much wrap it up for today. I'm Andrew with Lake Team here in Houston, Texas, and we'll see you next week.